guys, it's your girl JK with the Many Wigs Podcast, where if it's popping, I got a wig for that topic. On today's episode, we are visited by fashion designer and creative director, Super Roper. Hey, you.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Good, good. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm extremely happy to be here.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, first off, let's talk about this outfit. I love these pants. Designed by you, correct?
Thank you. Yeah, these are some of my unreleased Death Star pants. I love them. They're very wide. They have diverse style with the flare and the cargo mixed together. I love them. Very comfortable, very fashionable.
Very nice. Now, I see today that you paired it with a sweater.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a knitted, like a light knitted shirt. It's equivalent to wearing a t-shirt that's distressed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of warm outside, but I like to still be able to wear whatever type of garment I please.
Nice. So you can dress this up and down as well?
Yes, I've actually have worn these with a button shirt and a tie, and it has a matching jacket. That's like a crop denim jacket, but I put it with the tie before.
Nice.
I actually wore that exact same outfit to the AUG fashion show in Paris, which was about a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So how was it when you went to Paris?
That was amazing. So it was really, really fun to do. That was the first fashion show I've ever done in Paris. I've attended a lot, but the first time I ever done a fashion show, and it was with A$AP Rocky, and it was his first Paris Fashion Week show too, which we all collectively did an amazing job on.
Very nice. So how were you selected to be a part of the show in Paris?
Well, I started working with Rocky far before that fashion show in Paris came about. And they were looking for someone to manufacture and create a couple of pieces. And one of my best friends worked for a company that is really close with his manager. And he suggested me, they found me, and I completed like 7 designs in about 6 days. And the person that was actually working on all the designs before I arrived had a month and a half to complete those 7.
Wow.
So.
So take us through the process, like from beginning to end. Like what does it cost to create a design?
It all varies depending on what type of fabric you're making, how complex the pattern is, how complex the sewing is, and how fast you want to do it. So it's kind of like fabric, time, or rush, quality of sewing, all of those things combined, and then the patterns. So, but from start to finish, it comes from an idea, and then it turns into a sketch, which is art.
Yes.
And then you go and you develop that idea and you turn it into a pattern, which sometimes you can use a reference cut for a shortcut. So say if you want to make a dress that's similar to that but shorter, we can still use that to create the pattern. I don't know if everybody use that technique, or do they just go straight from thin air and measurements. I prefer not to. It can get very mathematical and confusing with that. But after that, after we got the pattern, you select the fabric and you just cut and sew.
So how involved are you in the process? Like, do you
I'm
sew?
involved in every single element of it. Most of the time, I'm the person with the idea of the design. I definitely partake in patterns, whether it's filtering through my shortcuts to make it simpler. Sometimes I make the whole pattern. Sometimes I break down the measurements and all that, and someone else cut the pattern. I cut fabric, I select fabric. I do know how to sew, but I don't sew anymore because I have people to do those things.
Yeah.
At this element of at this level of my career, I can point fingers and get everything done, but a lot of the times I'm
Sure.
so particular that I'm always
Yeah.
hands-on. Always.
Love it.
Either hands-on or I'm over their shoulder the entire time.
Yeah, love it, love it. So, so what inspired you to do fashion?
I was inspired to do fashion from my love for art. It all started with art. Like I said, remember earlier when I said, which is art. A sketch is a drawing. And at some point, I started off drawing, and then I decided that I wanted to draw garments, and then I was drawing those garments, and then I decided I wanted to start to be able to wear those garments. But if we go all the way back, even my drawings, I was tired of walking around with a book to show, oh, look at what I drew, look what I drew. And you can't walk around with canvases all the time.
right.
So I started painting on my clothes in high school.
Okay.
So I started painting on my clothes, and then that even evolved. It came from pen to Sharpie marker to fabric paint. And then the fabric paint is what led, or that held for the longest. And then after that, I went to college, and I was like, yo, I'm too grown to be drawing on my clothes. So I met a fashion major while I was attending the Art Institute of Atlanta. And she taught me how to use a sewing machine, and I was sewing for literally every single day for 2 years straight.
Wow.
Every day I was making something else to wear the next day. And it was evolving from t-shirts to hoodies to jackets to pants, and that's how it evolved. But what inspired me was simply art
The love of art.
and the desire to be unique and just to be the only one with that thing.
Nice. Now you mentioned that you went to fashion school in Atlanta.
I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, which have multiple careers or studies. I went there for video and film. So I wasn't even, never in my life was I like, I'm gonna be a designer. Society took my art as designs.
Okay.
My grandmother wasn't a person who sewed. I never was like, I want to make clothes. Like, that was never it. It was just about creating. And I got into making that. I went to school for video and film. At the time, I was making music, and the audio engineering course cost more than the video and film, but they teach you how to mix audio
Okay.
in it. So it was like a 2-for-1. So I went there for that. But while I was there, I met a fashion designer who taught me how to sew.
Nice.
So I almost had a double in one.
Wow, that's nice. I love
Fortunately.
that. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
So who has been your biggest influence?
I think everybody who has influenced me wasn't directly by what they did, but more so about who they were. So I think my top 2 influences would probably be Malcolm X and Prince.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm definitely a combination of the two.
And why would you say that?
Yo, like I'm just a very, very confident person, just like Prince was.
Yes.
But with that confidence and with that lifestyle that comes with becoming that person, you learn a lot. And every time you would look up and you would see Prince accepting a reward, he used that moment to speak out to the world and share a message.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then where Malcolm X came in, he wasn't the best person at the beginning of his life. But at some point, he was influenced to do better and become better. And within that influence, he came under Louis Farrakhan. And when he didn't agree with things, he did what he thought was right. No matter who was in charge or who was the superior, he did what he was right. Because of that, he was outcast. And still, he stood on what he felt was right. And that never let anybody persuade or move him. And then the other person who influenced me was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was just a cold motherfucker.
Yeah, that he was.
From start to finish,
From start to finish, yeah.
he was just a cold motherfucker.
Right, yeah.
And it wasn't about what he could do physically, it was about what he could do mentally.
Mentally, yes.
And if it's mine, it's mine. And I'm not asking for it.
Yeah.
Because when you ask someone for something, they have the option to say no. If you claim it to be yours and you go and get it, it's yours. That's it. It's two steps.
Yeah.
It's mine. I'm going to go get it. See, a lot of people think that they have to have this long, crazy process. It's just like you deliver a package. That's you saying it's yours. And you just wait for it to appear at the door. I don't do anything by chance. Everything is intentional and it all comes into play.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so tell us about a time where you kind of had to go against the grain, where, you know, everybody wasn't in agreement with you, but you stood on business and you did your own thing.
So a time where I had to go against the grain and do my own thing and not follow the crowd, I've probably been doing that almost all of my life.
Okay.
So even when it comes to like fashion trends, there are many things that I was doing before everyone else was doing it. And I personally feel like me doing it gave everyone else the comfortability to try it. And, you know, like before they were doing wide leg pants or flare pants, and I don't even know, like I feel like I could go back to 2009 and show you, not 2009, like 2019 and 2018 or 2017, where I'm wearing those style pants because I actually liked that era. And everybody else is like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You know? But a major time was definitely like, it was pretty much every element. Even when I was in like college, right? You know, so more, when I say all my life, I've never smoked or drank ever in my life.
Okay.
And that's like a thing to do. It's a thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no judgment to anybody who does it. I'm not square. I'm from the south side of Chicago. My whole family smokes and drinks. And I just didn't want it to be a part of my character trait. So it was something that I had to go against all my life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your birthday. Oh, you gotta celebrate.
Yeah, take a shot.
Women, you know, it's New Year's, it's Christmas, you know what I mean? Like all of these things. You know, we at the party, you know what I'm saying?
It's not you.
No, I'm definitely the fish that swam against the current.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So what's your favorite thing about being a designer?
My favorite thing about being a designer is being able to create something from thin air.
What's your favorite thing about being a designer?
My favorite thing about being a designer is being able to create something from pure imagination and to make it become real in real life. And I do that in a lot of different creative mediums. And I love it. Like actually, I didn't always know this, but now I know Willy Wonka has all of them has always been some of my favorite movies. When you think about like, all of them have different backstories.
Yes.
But when you think about what he became and how innovative he was and how fashion forward he was, I'm a Willy Wonka of my own.
Willy Wonka, I love it. I love it. We got Willy Wonka on the couch.
Willy Wonka. The black Willy Wonka.
Okay, black Willy Wonka.
Yes, sir.
So what does it cost to do a design?
The cost of making a design always varies. And the reason why it varies because sewing silk can be more expensive than sewing cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Sewing cotton could be less expensive than sewing leather.
Mm-hmm.
And all those are different mediums that require different type of machinery, different types of craftsmanship,
Mm-hmm.
and also the price of all of those fabrics vary too, because silk can be up to $100 and some dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton can be $12, and then leather can be hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So there's no like actual cost that's like a staple cost, because every design is different. And the technique and where you are in the world where you're making it can cost different as well.
So how do designers get funding for their products?
There's different levels of how designers accumulate money and funding for their projects. There's various different ways. Some designers, depending on where they are, they might need to invest the time rather than try to find money and then accumulate the funding. So at the beginning of my career, I was doing all the sewing, the cutting, and making the patterns because there was no funding for it. All I could afford was the fabric. So that's for a beginning stage. And then after that, you have people who can take their own money, make the product for $100, sell a product for $500. And then once they do that, they have to just be wise enough to know that now you have the funding to make 5 instead of 1. And then instead of make $100, you can make $2,500. That comes with discipline and, you know, being aware of what you're doing and how to accumulate. And then in some spaces, people can have investors, people who believe in what they're doing. You could do that by sharing your work on social platforms and or just knowing the right people and being in the right rooms.
Yep, being in the room where it happened. That's right. So Dove Star, talk to us about Dove Star.
So Dove Star is a reflection of me. Dove Star is a brand, but it's also a creative agency. And when I said Dove Star is a reflection of me, I consider myself an angelic rock star. And angelic rock star in a company form is Dove Star. The dove is the angelic part, and the star is abbreviation of rock star. So that's where you get Dove Star from. And it was just something I came up with. I felt it, I heard it, and I just owned it the exact moment that it came to mind.
Yeah, just made
That was
happen.
it.
Love
Yep.
it. Love it. So who has been the most difficult to design for?
The most difficult person that I've ever designed for was Antonio Brown.
Really?
Yes. He's a very vibrant person, but he can be very chaotic at times. And I'm not sure if it's all personality or other things. But yeah, it wasn't really difficult like actually designing the clothes, because I would design the clothes and he would love them and he would wear them and he would praise them. It just was the aftermath and sometimes the business parts of it. He is, like I said, he's a very abstract person. And, you know, it's funny that his name is like, his nickname is AB, because it's like a side A and a side B.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the most difficult that I've ever dealt with. And it was mostly on the business side of things, but never really the design side of things. We agreed on all the designs. He trusts what I did. It just, it was kind of like crazy on the other side of it.
So who are some other people that you've designed for?
I've designed for A$AP Rocky. I've designed for August Alsina. I've designed for Moneybagg Yo. I've designed for Floyd Mayweather. I've designed for Marlon Wayans. I've designed for, sheesh, there's so many people. I've done designs for French Montana, Rick Ross.
It goes on and
It's
on.
yeah, it goes on and on. I'm probably forgetting so many. Russell Westbrook, Andre Drummond, Nicole Hartman. Those are all. Now I'm getting to the athletes. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Nicole Hartman actually just won a Super Bowl and won a game-winning pass last year.
Nice.
You know, he's got on his third ring, so it's a lot of people.
Nice.
And I done did the designs I've done with Marlon Wayans was for his specials. He's a really cool, funny guy. Floyd Mayweather is just honestly the best. He's become a really, really close friend. Has always shown so much love and shared so much knowledge with me, and just treated me like family.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a signature piece, like if somebody saw somebody wearing something, like what would make them say that's Super Roper design?
So the first design that I've ever had that branded my name with it was a drip shirt that I made in 2014. August Alsina wore it to the BET Awards, and that year he won 3 awards, and he actually performed at the BET Awards with Chris Brown and Trey Songz, and that was right after they had settled beef that they had. So that was like a colossal moment for him, and it was a colossal moment for me. Right after the BET Awards, they kind of started writing so many blogs about his outfit and just admiring him and saying he was the best dressed at the awards, and he was wearing my plaid drip shirt with the matching jeans that I had made at the time. And I literally made $60,000 the next day.
Wow.
It
Just
was
off of what he was wearing.
Yeah,
Wow.
the sales from that shirt he was wearing, and I had ended up making about $500,000 off of that one design over a 5-year span. Like they were still buying it 5 years later.
Nice, nice.
I
Well, congratulations.
was extremely happy about that one.
That's amazing. I know
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is more fashionable, Kanye West or Pharrell?
Who is more fashionable, Kanye West or Pharrell? That's a difficult one. They both were very influential within fashion and in music, but if we're talking just fashion, I truly believe that Kanye West had way more of a landslide. Although, when you look at times now, you have Pharrell as the head creative and the head designer or head of creative at Louis Vuitton. But we're talking about somebody who has made billions off of fashion and has pushed the bar so many times. Kanye West probably will have to take that one in a landslide. And I have much respect for the both of them. But it's definitely gonna have to be Kanye West.
Okay. So who's more fashionable, Ice Spice or Lotto?
Sheesh. Who's more fashionable, Ice Spice or Lotto? I'm definitely gonna go with Lotto. I like the way Lotto dress.
Okay.
I like the matureness she has with it. I like the way that she handles herself. I like how she's creative. I like her choice of jewelry. You know, Ice Spice is really, really cute and really bubbly. But sometimes it's just like automatically just go straight to skimpy. And I don't really find that tasteful all the time, you know? It's really like you're selling sex more than you are selling like a personality.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Lotto.
Yeah. So has there ever been a time where you were asked to design something where you didn't find it very tasteful? And if so, how did you handle that?
Yeah, it's been plenty of times where I have been asked to design something that wasn't tasteful or the direction wasn't something I want to do. And I didn't do it because I don't do anything that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I don't do anything that I don't want to do. I don't care who it is, what the money is. I don't do anything I want to do. Like, my respect comes first. And if I got to put my name on it, it has to be something that I approve of.
Absolutely.
all the time, 100%.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
So take us through the evolution of Roper.
Whoa. So the evolution of Roper, I pretty much have found myself in high school, and that's where Roper came about, which is my last name. So I was Roper, and then later on in life I became Roper Rope, and then I became Super Roper. And when I became Super Roper, it was literally because I found out and discovered every talent and every source and started to obtain a knowledge that made me just invincible. So when you find Roper, you got the creative that's just live and in charge, most likely to succeed in high school, class clown, best dressed, unique style, most likely to be involved. And then you got Roper Rope that's now like this, now you got Roper Rope that's this more so of a businessman, less of a hustler. And then you have Super Roper, who's just like a creative mogul that is well versed, well put together. Outfits is always a certain way. The way he handles himself is business and everything. And if I had to break down all of those three things, it would probably be the hobby, the hustle, and then the business. That's how it evolved, and that's how the evolution of Roper went about.
And here you are.
Here I am.
The best part of you. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you for sharing you with us.
I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. So I have something that I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
So my sister and I, we own a fragrance line. We have our essential cologne oil. It's called Otis, which stands for On to Infinite Success, because the sky's the limit for me and my sister.
Absolutely.
And he has notes of musk,
Otis,
amber, and sandalwood. And he's vegan.
I'm vegan too. Me and Otis is vegan.
Yes, you and
Me
Otis
and
are
Otis is
vegan.
vegan.
And then we have our cologne, our perfume oil, Le Elegance. And she has notes of vanilla and white peony.
This smells amazing.
Thank
and
you.
it's soft.
Yes, very clean.
This is amazing.
Thank you. So the good thing about our oils, again, they're vegan, and they pair very well with your favorite everyday fragrance that you like to wear, and they also stand alone. And what's unique about them is the scent changes just a little bit as it starts to mix with your natural
Body oils.
chemistry. Yes,
Wow.
yes. So we did Black on the Block, and when people would come by and they would put it on, like one lady said, "Oh, it smelled kind of like cinnamony." Like she got like a cinnamon smell, and some of them got like a floral smell. And some of them got,
because of their
because of their
own scents.
exactly.
Wow.
So when it mixes with your pheromones, you'll get like a different scent.
I'm excited to try that.
Yes, thank you. So these
I'm
are
super
for you.
excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
stopping by.
Of course.
Yes. Okay, lovies, that's it for this episode of the Many Wigs Podcast. Where if it's popping, I got a wig for that topic. Bye.
Peace, y'all.